Good morning, Mayor, members of City Council, community members. My name is Roberto Gomez. I own and operate a remodeling business here in Alexandria City. When I'm not running my business, I'm dedicated to serving the low-income children in our community and the families that I work with. What that looks like for me is waking up every day at 3 to 4 a.m. and walking in my door around 6 to 7 p.m. I stand here before you to tell you that I'm speaking for the voices that aren't even aware that their opinions matter. These families that I represent oftentimes aren't even sure what, if anything, they'll eat for dinner. I was briefly here last public hearing to gain an understanding of how our other community members feel about housing opportunities and social and income diversity. I was astonished to see that other community members was a sea of the same color. After being here for the first 30 minutes of testimonial, I left out of disgust and frustration. I heard a wide range of reasons to oppose housing and social and income diversity. One of the things that bothered me the most was a testimony where someone said that density would require them to park 2 to 3 blocks away from their home, and that in their old age it is difficult on the bones to have to endure the horror of walking a couple of extra blocks for lack of parking. The families I'm here to represent and work with don't have the luxury of enjoying a retirement, let alone a vehicle to get to work or worry about where they'll park it. Instead, they take bus after bus to get to wherever it is they're going, regardless of their age. The same buses that the routes have been strategically diverted to protect tourists and other Alexandrians from having to see the neighborhoods filled with the have-nots. These are contributing members of our community that walk miles each day to go home to a place they struggle to afford to rent and work multiple jobs in an effort to provide for children who aren't inheriting trust funds. Instead, their only birthright is to inherit trauma and lack of resources to have any real shot at overcoming the systems that have broke the generations before them. The community members that stand before you in opposition of housing affordability and social and income diversity do it under the guise of density and several other words that hide how they truly feel. The words they only whisper amongst themselves. They scream and complain about crime rates and safety only as it affects their neighborhoods directly. They sit in joint boards and commissions to ensure bike lanes get extended so long as the people riding the bikes look like them. They want to preserve the beautiful, rich history of the city and ensure it remains intact while hiding behind the fortresses of their wealth, all while denying how many of their generational wealths that have been passed along were acquired in the first place in this city. Alexandria City is where I call home and always will. It's a beautiful place with an ugly history. I call on council to ensure everyone has an opportunity to live here in peace while providing the very service it needs to function. Everyone from store clerks to local first responders should be able to afford a place in our great city. A segregated community is not a community at all. All those who stand in direct opposition should not only be ashamed of themselves, but should also take heed. We are educating, uplifting the same population you only want serving your self-interest so long as you don't have to look them in the eye. Please vote to ensure the city is as beautiful as ever so we can begin to heal ourselves as a collective.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. We appreciate your work.